End of morning skate there, or a moment where Zub looked to be drawing up a play at the glass. Can you tell us what was happening there?
Just more for the PK. We kind of just talking through it, and we got to figure it out. So all good. But yeah, he was just trying to figure out our assignments for the PK. So yeah.
How's this stretch been feeling recently, and what kind of a lesson was the game against Montreal?
Yeah, I mean, obviously a good stretch for us. Montreal obviously wasn't our best game, but I think it's a good wake-up call for us. Things are going well, and I think we kind of put the foot off the gas a bit, and it just shows you in this league if you take one night off, you're not just going to win off of talent. And I think that's what we expected that night, and we just didn't play hard enough. And I think it was a good wake-up call, and I think today we'll play harder and hopefully get a good result.
So like waking up this morning knowing you'll probably see a lot of Nathan McKinnon tonight.
Yeah, I mean it's an exciting challenge for sure. I think. That's why you play. I think you want to play the best of the best, and obviously he's a top 2 player in the world. So obviously it's a very exciting challenge, and hopefully we could try to keep him at bay.
What's the conversation been like with Travis? I guess as the year has gone on, you've been especially at home here.
Yeah.
This is a line that's gone up against some of the best on the other team.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we don't really talk about it too much. I think at the beginning of the year, he kind of expected. That's kind of his expectation for him, was to be kind of the shutdown guy, and I kind of embraced it. And but he's been super good about it, and I appreciate having that role, and I appreciate the trust, and hopefully I could keep on delivering for him.
What have been your impressions of, sorry if this was asked already, but what have been your impressions of Michael Amadio's last few games?
Yeah, he's been great. I think, he's such a low-key player, but he's so smart out there. Great details, and I like playing with him. He's super simple. It's easy to read off of him, and he's just getting rewarded now. I know in the beginning, me and Mike were struggling to score some goals, and thankfully it all comes around, and he deserves it, and just happy for him the way he's been playing.
Why do you think it's been succeeding? Why do you think he's been seeing success these last few games?
I don't know. I think he didn't get too many bounces in the beginning of the year, and like we all say, it always comes around, and he's a good enough player where he's going to get enough chances where he's going to start scoring, and that's how it kind of has been going down. And he deserves. He's a super good hockey player, and that's just what's going to happen as the season goes on.
What's maybe the mindset when you're tasked with a lot of defensive zone draws against like the best lines in the league? Like, how much do you try to get some offense at the same time while also trying to shut down the best players in the world?
Yeah, you got to try to have a little bit of balance with it. I think your first thought's always defense, though, no matter what. If you could chip it offensively, that's nice. But, that's just the role I have right now. So it's just I'm going to keep embracing it and keep trying to do my best every night with it.
Were you aware of the call with Josh Anderson the other night? Like, I know you're big into cut resistant.
Yeah. I just kind of got brought to light this morning. I had no idea during the game. Thankfully, he's okay. Obviously, that's not intentional whatsoever. And I'm just grateful that he's okay. And I think those cut-resistant things obviously work, and I think more guys should wear it because things happen in the game where you can't really control sometimes. And thankfully he's okay, and nothing bad happened.
Do you wear cut-resistant stuff?
Yeah, I wear my wrist and down in my sock area because obviously that gap is pretty exposed. So I think it's important because you just never know with hockey. It's a fast game and things could happen. So I think it's important to wear them.
Have you ever had a close call where you think, I was going to get cut, but then my clothing helped me?
A couple of times on the wrist, you feel like, when you go down in a battle and skates get close to it, but when you have this stuff on, it obviously helps a lot. So hopefully I never have that, but the game's so fast, so you just try to wear as much protection as you can. So.
Oh, it is a challenge, obviously, playing against some of the better players in the world. But it's an exciting one. I think we should be with the way we've played recently. We've got a solid identity, and hopefully we can kind of impose our way of playing physical. I think our line, that's been our identity, to get on the forecheck, play physical, do that. So that's what we'll look to do.
Despite the setback in Montreal here, I'm assuming that the approach to tonight's game doesn't change it.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. I mean, you can call it a setback, I guess. It was a winnable game for sure. But you're not going to win them all the rest of the way, and you got to make sure that when you don't, you do it the hard way. And maybe that's where we felt like we left some out there. Yes, it's exciting to just kind of respond tonight.
A few road games coming up as well for you guys over this next little stretch.
how important is it to capitalize on these home games that you have?
Yeah, we have a lot left, so it is very important. We're in control of what's coming ahead for us, and again, it's super exciting. It's what you work for the entire year usually, to put yourself in a spot where you can compete for a playoff spot and even kind of start looking ahead for us. So that's exciting.
David, what's Dylan Cousins added to your line in first two?
Yeah, well, just north-south, like very direct on the forecheck, and I mean, you've seen the hit total every night. He's leading our team with Brady probably every single night. So it's very physical and a lot of fun to play with. He retrieves a lot of pucks, and I think we're getting more and more comfortable as a line, just kind of knowing what to do with it. And there's not much time out there this time of the year, so it's fun to play with those two guys right now.
What's his personality like off the ice?
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, he's been awesome. Great addition. We're just getting to know him, kind of asking him a lot of questions about where he's from. I never really met anyone from there. I think it's cool to hear the stories, the hunting, fishing, all kinds of stuff like that. So it's fun to get to know him.
How does his playing style, I guess, complement how you like to play?
Yeah, no, it does. Just heavy down low, and I think he's done a good job of carrying the puck too on entries and kicking it out at the right time. Same with Drake. We want those guys to have the puck on our line as much as possible, and I'll try and do some of the dirty work in the corner, win battles. These are things that we've done a good job at.
I don't know how much you knew about Shane Pinto before you got here. How do you think he's handled it?
not
He's
much.
had a lot of tough assignments this year.
Not much, but he's been awesome. He's been just a solid player, and he's a fun guy to be around. He's always laughing, having a big smile on his face. We like to keep it light with him and keep chirping him a little bit. He's a great hockey player, and we want him to keep pushing that ceiling up.
Yeah, I think all three of us haven't played good enough. So yeah, just playing back to our identity, playing hard again. I mean, we didn't really give up a lot, but we also accept those empty netters, but also we didn't create nearly enough. And it was way too many times we were one and done, not winning enough puck battles, and we just got to get back to doing that.
There was a stretch where you guys were just clicking as a line, doing really well. What was working then that you want to bring back to the game tonight against the Avalanche?
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to feel great every night, and not every player is going to feel great every night, but we just got to have a better effort, and I think that's the most important thing. I think when we're playing hard down low, nobody can really take the puck from Brady, so we just got to keep supporting him down low and, playing as a line, all three guys together.
Brady also said this is a good time to learn some lessons right now, rather than at the end of the season. What are you taking away and kind of trying to learn from these games that you can possibly apply if you guys get into that postseason situation?
Yeah, I mean, we knew we were probably not going to win all the games. We just wished for a better effort, and that's what we got to get back to. I mean, there's less to be learned. That you just, in that league, you can't have too many guys sleeping through the game, and we had that, especially our line. So we just got to get back to playing hard again and being hard to play against.
What's the challenge tonight for you and the other centers and trying to shut down a guy like Nathan McKinnon leading points off this point?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's a great player. So much fun to watch, and but I think we have good players in here too, and I think Pinsline has done a great job of kind of doing that, and he'll be good tonight.
Coach, all about the reset. I'm assuming based on just the result that you had in Montreal, your message doesn't change at all going into tonight's game?
No, just get back to our game and look forward to the game. Be excited to play. It's a great opportunity against a really good team.
Any lineup changes?
No.
Nick Jensen missed practice again. He missed that game on Tuesday. Just what can you say about what's going on with him?
He's on the ice right now, skating, so that's a good sign. So hopefully he's back sooner than later.
Why no lineup changes after a loss in Montreal? Why stick with the same guys against Colorado?
Because that's what we feel gives us the best chance to win tonight.
This season, this team's got really hot in a bunch of games and kind of has lost a couple. Like they've been a bit streaky, and there's been injuries as well. But like, how do you try to avoid that as a coach? And why do you think that's going to be happening so much?
Yeah, it's happened a few times where we've gone on a losing streak, a winning streak. You like the winning streaks a lot more, and hopefully you don't lose too many in a row. And I think goes back to what we've talked about a lot this season, is being able to reset and not live and die in the last game and learn from it and move on. I think we've done a bit better job of it of late. I think there's different reasons. I thought earlier in the year we went on a couple losing streaks, and I thought the latest one might have been for different reasons, quite frankly.
Yesterday, Brady was critical of his play, and today Tim Stützle felt he didn't play the best game on Tuesday. How does it feel as a coach to see players who are really just stepping up and kind of owning some of that and wanting to be better?
Yeah, I think that's a big part of improving as a player, is having self-assessment, being able to be honest with yourself so you can be better as a player, either long-term or short-term. And your top guys aren't going to be great every night. And, that's just reality. But I think it's important that if you're not on top of your game, that you can be honest about it. And that's a big part of being better the next game.
Based on the energy and just what you saw at practice this morning, what are you gauging from their levels of play for tonight's game?
I think anytime a coach starts looking at a morning skate and figuring out that you're on or you're not, it'd probably be a first. But I do know that our group is excited for the game, and I think that's important. When you're looking forward to something, or and there's pressure, but you got to look forward to it. And for me, that's a big part of what we talk about, is being excited to play. It's a game. It's fun, but it's ultra competitive. We want ultra competitive people that look forward to hard games.
What's been your message to Fabian Zetterman? Obviously, he's lower in the lineup than he was in San Jose, and what's kind of your message to him?
I've had good conversation with him. Probably 3 times we've just talked to him. Coaches have done a good job showing video. He's learning a lot on the fly, system-wise, different players. He's a younger player that hasn't played a whole lot in the league, and also being patient. It's not always easy, and yet I think if we can be, as coaches, if you can have open dialogue with a player, it'd be different if we were saying, hey, we don't like your play, we don't, this is where you're slotted, but that's not the case. But our team's been playing well, and he's going to have to wait for more ice time, and I'd like to get him some more ice time here and there, but that's the reality. We're also here to win every night, and it's a fine line, but making those decisions on who goes on the ice and who doesn't.
Have one of the lowest scoring blue lines in the league, but I think you've got goals in the last 4 from a key guy. Is that a conscious effort? Is that just the ebb and flow of the season?
Well, obviously the makeup of your group. I wouldn't look at our team and say that we've got 4 or 5 really offensive defensemen. We've got some guys that have really had good seasons, though, and have defended well and played up to their capability, and some of them have strengths in different areas. But would you like to have some more goals? Yeah, sure. But it's easier said than done than to just say we're gonna score more from the back end. That doesn't. It's wishful thinking, but it doesn't just happen.
Do you think it's a good night if Tyler Clevin scores?
It's always a good night when Clev scores. Yeah.
Tom Chabot's game, I guess, can you just assess, if you look at his plus minus as a stat in particular, it's like plus, let's say 17 at this point, which comparatively in years past is not even close. Is it a different season? Is it Nick Jensen? Is it his game?
Is Jens part of it? Yeah, I think he's part of it, but I don't think that's the main reason. I think they're a good, Jens is a real good player, though, and they're a good pair. But yeah, I think you have to give Shabby a lot of credit. First and foremost, what his mindset has been right from coming into training camp, being a player that you win with and a defenseman that you win with. And, to his credit, he's defending better and putting an emphasis on defending, and much like I think a lot of our group is, and maybe not defending, but checking. And, that's the checking part of the game is a commitment and a bit of a mindset, and it takes hard work.
soon get to 500 games, possibly Saturday. Just your thoughts on him and his longevity. I know you haven't been here, but what you see and how hard it is to reach that milestone.
Yeah, I think when you're in the league a while, you tend to forget about those things, and that is a good milestone for him. But it's, for me, he's still he's got a lot of games left in him. He's a fantastic skater. He loves the game, and should have a real long career. Knock on wood.
You talked about the Detroit game last week. Sometimes, even when you're not playing your best game, you still need sometimes to break away. When this team in the past sometimes had the tendency to let things snowball a little bit when things didn't go their way. How important have veterans player like Giroux and Perron and Jensen you just talked about been to?
I think it's a bit of a mindset with your group. There's certain things that we talk about when we have a lead. I'm not concerned about the past at all as far as what's happened before. Much like what we tell our team, we're worried about how do we win hockey games, how does this group win hockey games, and so far they've done a pretty good job, and it's veterans talking, being calm. I think emotionally there's certain parts of the game where the game gets emotional, and you can feel it, and being able to handle those moments are important. And I don't think there's anything wrong with talking about it either, and being ready for it, but also embracing it and embracing those moments. And again, that goes back to that excitement level, looking forward to those type of games. And we've been in a lot of those tight games too this year, and so.
How would you describe the challenge of trying to neutralize a player like Nathan MacKinnon? I know you're obviously focusing on the whole team, but obviously you have to focus on a player like Wayne.
Well, there's 82 times that the other team's trying to focus on Nathan MacKinnon. He's used to it. He knows other teams are going to try to check him, and that's what separates the best players in the world. Is they're hard to contain, and he's always going to get some chances, some looks, but that's what makes them great.
You said no lineup changes, but all mark starts?
Yep.